It's Jeff, and doing another one of these chapters on the video series and work with the French. And today's section is about the, giving what kind of the technical and evaluation by the French. Um, and the expense of that is that the French, when you give them something like technical specifications or a document or some kind of thing to review, they will do it. Um, they'll do it. You know why? Because it's vengeance against everyone having done the same thing to them. Them have been, you know, everything they have ever written or presented for their entire childhood and life has been critiqued and criticized to death. Okay, um, and because of that, they're used to critiquing and criticizing to death everybody else, everything that anyone else does, to the point where it's always negative and pessimistic in presentation, the way that it's presented, because it's like it's picking it apart. And I've seen situations in kind of big projects where whenever you got the French and the North Americans, when there's an evaluation of something, an evaluation of something important, the North Americans always win it, right? Because the French are always so negative about it and so negative in what it is. They're picking it apart. They're picking it apart detail wise. And all the North Americans saying, it's great, it's great, it's great. Well, in the end, which gets funded, okay? Seen this happen so many times. And the French don't really realize this. But it's vengeance. It's because, I mean, it's a subliminal vengeance because they don't really realize they're doing this. It's just kind of cultural. And but it's good when you're working within the French environment and you want to have something reviewed and you want to have it reviewed and really with a good critique, with a good, kind of extra review. They will do it. And they'll do a really good job doing it. And many others will see this as a negative thing. I mean, I've seen Germans and North Americans and others see this as like, I mean, why is it so well, because they're doing what they're asked to do. Whereas the other one's kind of like, well, we want you to be transparent, but not too much because now you're picking it apart too much, right? So this is a really important thing. Um, when I know someone's going to do it, they're going to do it in France. And when I ask them to do something serious and to really critique it, really pick it apart, really dig deep and do it right, and give it some real added value to so that I can present it or publish it or whatever. They will do it. They will do it. Um, and it's a very strong thing. But like I said, but the issue it's a very positive thing when you're in the bubble and people all understand that's how it works. It's actually a positive thing for them. But when they present to the others internationally, it can be catastrophic actually because it could just kind of I've seen, like I said, there have been projects I've seen that actually did not get the French did not win in the opportunity to be visible and all that. They lost it because it was the North Americans that had a different way of approaching it to get the buy-in, right? So the French will not. The French will not be thinking about the marketing aspects or getting the buy-in of something. They're thinking about the technical task, just doing the task, and actually doing it, doing it well. So there's that chapter. It's not something I don't have any specific references about this. This is just 32 years of doing it in French environments, and and a lot of this does relate back to the other chapters I talk about, where the book the Petit Nicolas and not want to be seen as a failure, and there's a lot of overlap with that. But it's a separate thing. This is kind of this is the those are things where those are things of the basic cultural aspect. Here's where you're actually where the rubber hits the road. You're in teams, you're doing things, and you really want to know how you're going to be able to get the job done, and they'll dig it apart. They'll dig it apart. They will do the arc. They'll dig up all the bones. Um, to the point where you don't want them. You know, some people just don't want to have them evaluated because they know they're going to reveal. They will reveal the stuff that you don't want them to reveal. Okay, they will reveal. They'll. Um, Actually, really think that the French would be great auditors. Okay, for an auditing job because they know how to reveal. They know how to dig in stuff. And again, I think it's a subliminal vengeance. Um, I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just saying that's kind of it's the way to get back of having had everything, you know, such negative stuff over their entire school head years. And I've seen my kids go through this. I've seen my kids go through this with their teachers and stuff. So I know my kids with their mom. We never we were actually pretty supportive of the kids and all that what they did. And not to in the earlier years did not we're actually really encouraging the kids all the time, just encouraging kids and more of that. And their mom had lived in the States for 4 years to that. I think that really helped. I think that really helped a lot to give it kind of a different perspective of how to do things with raising children and stuff, and not to be picking things apart so much. Or to be you know, I don't want to say negative because it's not really negative. If it's in the culture, it's just that's how it works. But when you're coming from another culture and you're looking at it from that culture's perspective, it's just like, whoa, what's going on? I mean, and it's seen as a negative thing, and it can be perceived as negative in cultures that don't have that criticism kind of approach to it. Okay, where it's good to actually criticize. It's actually good to criticize. The culture's not. So, you know, that's the kind of way it is. So that's that chapter, and let's get on to some other ones.